Hello my dear friend, this is Phil again. Welcome back to my channel. I did a few videos on the Crusader and talked about how two-shot explosion Crusader is the best one for Crusader pistols. And actually there's another pistol which share very similar buff on the elemental damage, which is the Alien Blaster. And in this video I'm going to show you some tests to compare the performance between the Blooded normal two-shot and the two-shot cryo version of the Alien Blast, so you can see how powerful the two-shot cryo or two-shot parallel Alien Blaster is. I can give you a very quick explanation from the coding point of view why it is acting this way. Then in the second part of the video I'm going to compare the two-shot Alien Blaster with the two-shot Crusader pistol on a few different testing subjects to compare these two pistols in terms of damage. And by the end of it, I'm going to draw a conclusion on which one between these two are the king of pistols. If you are really into pistol builds and all the pistol weapons, I'm sure this video gonna be useful and interesting to you. Now let's get started. Now I have three different Alien Blasters. The blooded one, as you can see here, with the cryo magazine, and this is the damage number. And I have a two-shot Alien Blaster, as you can see here, without any elemental modification, and the damage is 35 pure energy damage. Now I have the third one, which is a two-shot again, but with a cryo magazine on it, and energy damage lowered to 54, but with additional 29 cryo damage. Now let me show you the difference between the three versions of Alien Blaster in terms of their damage. Let's start with the two-shot version first, without the cryo. I'm sorry, but 5-5. So this gun is performing poorly on the scavenger due to the high resistance of this mode, which is 3000. Now let's switch to the cryo version of the two shots. Well, that's 23 times 2 plus 82 times 2. And clearly by adding the cryo mode to this gun, the two shots Alien Blaster become a monster. The damage increase is phenomenal. Increase from 10 to 210. And let me switch to the blooded version. That's 4980. That's about 130 damage, and I'm not using any tenderizer perks. You can see the blooded Alien Blaster is outperforming the two-shot version of it, mainly because the scavenger does not have strong elemental resistance, but the energy damage still increased from 10 to 50. That's 5 times higher than the two-shot non-elemental version. But if you put the cryo mode to the two-shot Alien Blaster, it increased the damage from 10 to 210, which is 21 times more. And the reason is very simple. Just as I explained in my Crusader pistol video, this gun's damage is benefiting from how the game is calculating the explosion damage for elemental type of damage. The difference is this gun does not have explosion legendary effects. You will never see an explosion version of this gun because it's energy weapon, and this gun's cryo and the para mode actually have invisible explosion effects, which has been secretly coded into this game. I don't know why, but that's how exactly Bethesda did. And this is a normal cryo mode damage type, and this is the cryo mode damage for Alien Blaster unique. You can see the keyword explosion, right? The cryo and the para modes on this gun actually have invisible explosion damage, and thus it's benefiting from the 100% explosion damage on the cryo damage part. And because it's 2 shots, that make it a 200 cryo explosion damage boost. Combine that with the demolition expert perk, that makes this gun a total monster. In theory, because this gun has energy damage, and this explosion 2 shots effect can potentially benefit that energy damage as well, which means we might see 200 damage boost on both the explosion damage, crowd damage, and the energy damage. And if that's true, then this gun will be the new king of the pistol, despite the plasma thrower. Now, let's compare the 2-shot explosion Crusader pistol and the 2-shot crowd version of the alien blaster in a real combat scenario to see which one is actually stronger. Okay, now let's put this guy into the real fight for 2 reasons. I'm trying to find out whether this gun is really powerful against some tough enemies, and compare it with the Crusader pistol with exactly the same mode, and also benefit from the elemental damage explosion buff. And quickly, I'll show you my loadout here. It's a pistol build specific character, the with a tank pillar to maximize the armor penetration, concentrating the fire with vast damage, tenderizer as well, nerd rage to increase damage, and most importantly, demolition expert. Then with all the gunslinging perks, covert cooperation because we will do stealth attack, adrenaline, probably we should not use it during our tests. Gunful can also give you extra damage when you're fighting a group of mobs, but in this test, we probably don't want to use it as well. Then critical survey plus better critical to maximize the critical damage. Also equipped awareness, so we can see the resistance of the mobs, including the energy resistance as well as the elemental resistance. So in this last patch, Bethesda actually finally, after so many years, put in the elemental resistance on the behemoth, so now he can really tank some elemental damage because previously he has none. And in terms of ballistic damage and energy damage, we can see he has 160 ballistic ones, a little bit lower energy damage. So if we actually compare the Crusader pistol and the alien buster on this mob, the alien buster will take slightly a bit of advantage. Just bear that in mind. And for both guns, we're going to use their cryo mode, just trying to do an apple to apple comparison. And to compare these 2 guns, I need to take the tenderizer off as well. And let's try to use the Crusader pistol first. So this is the Crusader I'm going to use. 2-shot explosion with cryo receiver. Ballistic damage 129. Crowd damage 30 points, fire rate only 43. We use this gun first because we want to stay in stealth mode when we switch to the alien busters, and alien buster apparently does not have a suppressor. 8124. Now we change to alien buster. Again, it's a 2-shot alien buster. The bashing damage doesn't affect our testing at all. The energy damage is much lower, almost halved, comparing with the Crusader pistol, with 8 extra crowd damage, and its fire rate is 100. And let's see how it performs. Now, 8661. So the explosion damage, 81, is much higher than the Crusader one. That's kind of strange because I'm actually expecting these 2 guns will have similar explosion damage because they actually share the same explosion buff on the elemental damage, and the only difference is alien buster have a bit more crowd damage. 8 crowd damage can't causing so big difference in terms of the explosion damage. I'm not 100% sure. Now let's try it again. It is 8824. Alien Buster 8660. So it's clear that Alien Buster is outperforming Crusader pistol on this big greenie. So let's try to find another target for our testing. Now let's test both guns on a smaller version of the Greenie. Unfortunately, the Super Mutant has halved energy resistance comparing with their ballistic ones, and it's gonna be an unfired ground to actually test both guns, but we should not come here for nothing. What I can do is I can show you how powerful this alien blaster against those smaller Greenies. And you can see this gun is killing things in amazing speed, benefiting from its 100 firing rate. As long as it can hit the target, the damage with the critical boosts is huge. That's 264, 268 times 2 with the critical shot. And this 100 fire rate means this gun can shoot 100 bullets per 10 seconds, which means 10 shots per second. I don't know if you can do that, but I 100% can't click 10 times of the mouse per second. So when you use this gun, it more feels like an automatic gun already. Okay, I have another test subject here, which is this cute Murloc. And he has exactly the same resistance against ballistic damage and energy damage. I just hope it will not die with just 2 shots from each gun. The amazing thing is when I fight the Super Mutant just now, Alien Blaster does not blow up my position, so I was in stealth mode during the whole slaughtering. Amazing. I mean, if this gun is really quiet weapon, we really don't need a suppressor with this gun. Now let's start with, again, the 2 shots. Crusader, we're not going to VATS, we just shoot straight away. That's 1635 times 2. 34, 62, 62. Alien Blaster, I'm gonna shoot you in the back. That's 16. 16 of the energy damage, but the explosion damage is way higher than the Crusader one. So for the Alien Blaster we have 16 times 2 plus 150 plus 2. Still, it outperforms the Crusader pistol a lot. Now the explosion is 125 with energy damage 12. Hey, don't walk backwards, that's weird. Now let me try my Crusader. That's 14 and 77. Let me try again. 1433. So for some reason the Crusader pistol has been outperformed by Alien Blaster again with a huge difference. That's 1522 times 2. So now I can say Alien Blaster damage wise are outperforming Crusader a lot with this 2-shot version. And how fast I can kill this crit. Nice, very quick. Another good thing about this gun comparing with Crusader is it has much larger magazine size. It holds 30 rounds in one single magazine, while the Crusader only takes 18. It's almost doubled. That gives another advantage to Alien Blaster in terms of DPS because it has larger magazine size. Okay, thank you very much guys for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it gives you some ideas in terms of how powerful the 2-shot Alien Blaster is with the Cryo Opera mode. That is very, very important. With that mode, this gun will become a 3rd tier. And Most importantly, it has larger magazine. It's a quiet gun. You can actually benefit from stealth attack with this gun. At this moment, I think I can ditch my two-shot Crusader and swap to the Alien Blaster from now on. Alright, that's everything for this episode. If you like the video, please give me a thumb up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. But until next time, Phil against out.